Start recording. And as you know, this meeting is recorded and will be uploaded to public internet. So we can start. So where you were asking about this permit plugin that folks from Intel have built. And we believe that what they have done should probably be portable. But we're changing some of the interfaces. As you know, there is a PR out there for changing the interface. So I assume what they have done is not exactly following the exact same interface that we have. So maybe they need to make some changes, but that's probably not a whole lot of work for them to change it. That's one thing. The other thing is that given that we have this scheduling framework, we don't necessarily have to have only one implementation of a plugin. All right. So, for example, we can have like 3 different plugins that implement gang scheduling, and we can have all of them, but only one of them is enabled in a cluster. So users, depending on features and maybe some other criteria that they have, they can choose one of them. That's one of the nice things about having a plugin, environment on a framework, that you can basically pick and choose among the existing options. Does it make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So, okay. I have a few items that I would like to talk about. One is that thanks to Robbie, he proposed that we should have a session in the Contributors Summit of KubeCon. So as you know, we will be in KubeCon in about 1.5 months from now. So we are going to have a contributor summit session for SIG scheduling. Please attend if you're interested. We also encourage new contributors to attend and become familiar. We are hopefully going to have some demos of various features that are built, and you also get a chance to talk to some of us and to some of the new contributors. That's one thing. Well, by the way, this is not at the moment 100% done because we are still waiting for a room to be allocated to us, but hopefully that will happen soon. There is okay, so the non-preempting priority KEP is merged. Thanks to Valerie for her help there, and the PR for finishing basically the non-preempting priority that got started earlier by other contributors and Alex Wong is working on it, is almost ready. It still needs some changes to fix some of the build issues, but hopefully those will happen soon. And is there any question about any of these things that we've talked about so far? Okay. All right, we're working on updating, we're working on physical host spreading, which is actually a new feature in Kubernetes scheduler. We are trying to basically read, and you probably have some context if you've attended previous meetings. We are trying to read the physical host information of, for example, VMware, vSphere, or maybe cloud provider API if they provide such information, and then try to spread pods among nodes that are located on actually different physical hosts. This is useful for improving reliability of workloads in Kubernetes. Jonathan, also known as Mr. Kid, is going to work on this, and Valerie has also volunteered to work on some part of it. Hopefully, we are going to have a KEP soon for this feature, and we will go from there basically for implementing it. Any question about physical host spreading? All right. Other than that, we also have another somewhat similar feature for even pod spreading. This is different. Basically, even pod spreading is a feature that allows us to spread pods evenly among a few failure domains. These failure domains could be nodes, zones, regions, or any other labels. So what we're trying to do here and what is different from anti-affinity is the fact that here we support spreading more than one pod per failure domain. So in required anti-affinity, if you specify required anti-affinity, only one pod can exist in a single failure domain. For example, one pod in a zone. But with this feature, you can spread pods evenly. For example, if you have 5 pods and I don't know, let's say five zones and 10 pods in each zone will get 2 pods. And then after we add this, we are gonna simplify the interpod anti-affinity feature. Basically, we are gonna deprecate the topology key from anti-affinity, and we will only support anti-affinity to the same node. So our current interpod anti-affinity will not work in arbitrary topology anymore. I mean, this is of course is going to go through regular deprecation processes. So this is not going to be something that we are just immediately we're going to drop. It's going to have if you're using it, you're going to have some time to change it to even pod spread. Yeah, so there is also a PR for supporting greater than and less than operators in pod anti-affinity. Hopefully, I mean, there is a cap for this PR. Actually, the PR for implementing it is not done yet. The cap is still in progress. There are still some changes needed to the API, and we're waiting for an API review. Hopefully that will happen soon. And after the cap is merged, we're gonna work on the implementing it. These are some of the updates that I wanted to give. Also, as some of you are aware, I have sent a PR for changing the initial implementation of the framework that I had done a while back. Now, this new change is pretty much ready for review. I know that a lot of folks have already reviewed it and made a lot of great comments about various things. I have addressed those comments and I've made more changes. So feel free to take another look. I actually pushed some changes today. Feel free to take another look. I know that some folks are waiting for the framework, and I've received a lot of requests that many other folks are willing to contribute to the framework and build various features of the framework. After this PR is merged, I'm going to start filing issues for building the framework. And I will try to reach out to the folks that have volunteered already, and will ask you guys to help us build the rest of the extension points and the rest of the features in the framework. Okay, these are pretty much all the updates that I had for today. I don't know if you guys have questions or comments regarding your PRs or any particular issues in the schedule. Please raise them.
I was curious as to how much intersection there is between the failure domain spreading and the even pod spreading.
So failure domain spreading, you mean the current anti-affinity that we have, or?
Sorry, let me just double check the notes.
Yeah.
The even pod spreading and the physical host spreading, sorry.
Physical host spreading. So, you know, actually, these are kind of orthogonal. So basically what we're going to do is that, you know, today the scheduler already has a priority function that by default spreads pods evenly among failure domains. Well, not failure domains, actually among nodes. This is not arbitrary failure domain. By default, Kubernetes scheduler tries to spread pods, so pods of a single collection among different nodes. So this particular feature, the physical host spreading, is gonna replace this default behavior. Essentially, this default behavior will become, first try to spread pods among actual physical hosts. If that's not an option, for example, because many nodes are on the same host, and you cannot really spread among that many hosts, then try to spread among nodes. Right? So this is one part of it. But another important part is that as a part of this physical host spreading, we are going to have a physical host label on nodes. Right? So we're going to create a standard label for, by standard, I mean, this is going to be part of our API, similar to other labels that we have for our nodes and zones, etc. So we are going to have a label for physical hosts. And once we have this label, of course, users can then go and use, for example, even pod spreading, the feature that we are working on. This is a separate feature. And in the topology, they can put this physical host label, right? Or the key of this physical host label. By doing that, basically they enforce spreading of pods among physical hosts. This is not going to be just a basically default priority feature. This is now they can use it as a part of the like a predicate, for example, if they want. Same thing they can do with anti-affinity or affinity. They can, well, anti-affinity we're going to change in the future, but for affinity at least they can now provide the physical host label. So as you can see, this is part of this can be used in other features, and the other part is going to replace some of the existing default behaviors of the scheduler.
Thanks, that makes sense.
All right. Klaus, I see that you're here. I don't know if you have any updates for us regarding the projects that you're working on.
Oh, which one? Kubernetes?
Yeah, Kubernetes or some other, batch workload processing that you're working on.
Yeah. For the Kubernetes, I think after we support the gun scheduling, we also support some others, such as I also leverage the predicts and priority from the default scheduler. Right. Yes, I also update some comments about some suggestion about to make the predicts and the priority to be a common library, so other can leverage such kind of algorithm to build their scheduler. And in the Kubernetes, we also did some enhancement to the stability. Yes, because we found several issues there. Right. And yes, and recently I'm working on the framework part. I'd like to make sure the scheduling framework of in default scheduler can also support batch scheduler and default scheduler. So at least we can share the framework part. And for some batch workload, or maybe for some other workload, we can exchange the framework to meet the different scenario.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes. So I think this is offline research or offline work in my hand. And another things in my hand is that we are trying to bring the batch capability into Kubernetes. Yeah, I think I used to open an issue there in the upstream. Yes, list several items here, and because there for such
have you already opened these issues, or you will open?
Already opened the issue there. I think you already opened opened something there. Let me share the.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyway, I will open append the link later to the document.
Okay.
To our meeting notes. Yeah. So because there are several items here, and we already have some idea, so we start a separate project currently to give the overall idea of what we are going to do for this part. Yeah. But anyway, this is under the almost all the item in this issue. Yeah. For this issue, I will append the issue to our meeting doc later. because I can't remember the number of this issue.
Sure. One question regarding batches scheduling. You know, one of the common requests for batches scheduling is to have multiple queues for basically multiple scheduling queues and, or queue jobs and stuff like that. So did you also file any issues for doing this kind of work?
For the queue part, this is a sub item of that issue.
Okay.
Yes, also support the queue and but regarding the queue, there is I didn't propose any keep in the community because I think the queue maybe also have some interaction with the multi-tenants. We already have multi-tenants working group there, but resource sharing or resource the multi-tenants about the resource sharing is also a part of multi-tenants. We need to from the resource sharing and the multi-tenants in the runtime. Yeah, and also
I agree with there could be some overlap. At the same time, some of the features which need to be built in the scheduler should be discussed, and we probably should take care of those. I don't think that the multi-tenancy work group is going to go ahead and build the features we need.
Yes, they will not do that, but I mean, we need to align with them. I don't want to build another feature here and multi-tenancy build another way. So that will be maybe complicated or maybe So at least we need to get multi-tenants working group should be getting involved on this part.
Well, that the mechanism for interacting with them is relatively straightforward. Of course, we can present in their SIG meeting or work group meetings, and or we can have like KEPs and ask on those folks to also share their opinion.
Sure.
So that shouldn't really be a blocker for us.
I think this work are ongoing, and maybe I will have some time to do a demo or presentation in the public SIG meeting or some other way. But yes, I will get. We will show that when it's ready.
Okay, sounds great. So thank you very much for the update. Other people in the meeting, do you guys have any questions or comments? Any of you blocked? Anything requires my attention?
Actually, I was blocked on loss for a review for the cap. So if that's done, I can start working on the PR.
Okay, is it assigned to me?
It is assigned to you and Klaus both.
Okay.
Okay, sure. I will put time about. I think this is about BeamPack, right?
Yeah,
sure. I will check this before next Monday.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure.
Thank you very much. I will also take a look. Let me just take a quick note. Okay. Anything else?
Some update on the event path spreading. So I think almost all the comments has been addressed except the API design. So I think in your latest discussion, I just put the spec of how you describe a group of nodes using the spec which is in our current affinity. Move those parts totally here. As I saw that Bobby's comments is that it somewhat make people confusing, right? You use this in both even in spreading and also in affinity. My idea is that it's a little confusing, but it's expressive because it can express almost all the cases you want how your paths can be grouped together as one, and then based on that, spread them onto the topology. Right? But according to the user experience, I also propose another solution is to kind of flatten the inside pod affinity spec, like
Is it flatten?
Like the terms, yeah, flatten them onto the stem level as the even spreading spec. And so that they lose some sort of flexibility, but it's still expressive. So this is the most recent.
So
Yeah.
did you update the cap with this?
Yeah, I update. Yeah, I updated. Yes, I said option 2 in that cap.
Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I don't know how to proceed with this. I think Legit has been aware of this. Maybe he's busy on the Go module things, too busy on that. So let's wait for another couple of days to see.
So who was this? You said?
I said Legit, Jordan Legit has been aware of this API review.
Yeah.
Jordan
has to take care of almost all the PRs in Kubernetes.
Yeah, because I know he's busy on the Go module refactoring. That's a super big item. So yeah, I will wait another couple of days.
That's true. So yeah, no, we should probably first make sure that we agree on the design among ourselves. By ourselves, I mean SIG scheduling. And then we can ask API folks to review the API for us. Hopefully then those guys don't have that many objections and we can finalize it. But let's work together and make sure. I haven't seen your most recent changes. I just left a comment like, I don't know, an hour ago or so about one of the how spreading or how predicates and priorities should work for this particular feature. And other than that, I don't think I have seen the more recent changes to the API. I will take a look after the meeting, and then we can
sure, we can
continue the discussion there. All right, thank you. Any other question, comments? Anyone blocked? Any PR reviews needed?
Hello.
Alex.
The PR for the non-permitting priority is already for review after CI make nice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I saw the PR, and looks like I don't know if all the build issues are addressed already.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. I will take another look at that too. Thank you very much for your help. Okay, anything else? All right, you will get about 4 minutes of your life back. Thank you very much for attending. I'll see some of you folks next week. Bye.
Bye.